Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. This is going to focus on Raw, of course, and Raw this week was a little bit strange. Obviously, we're taping a lot of shows and we spoke about that during our live stream. I think there's a chance that that kind of hurt the star power, hurt the quality of the show. This show feeling average at best, but there was some big moments and announcements that was on Raw, one of those being this moment, which I honestly did not expect this. The last rumor that I had seen was that we were going to keep it 4-on-4, right? And then backstage, the announcement is made about how they're going to look for fifth members. So yeah, totally caught me off guard. I know there was little rumors, things that people were kind of speculating about, but absolutely nothing concrete out there that this is where we were going. In fact, the opposite. The only concrete thing that I had seen, or the strongest report I had seen, said it would be 4-on-4. And I think we included that in a previous unseen. So anyway, what this is going to result in is we're now going to get them going around asking lots of different people. There is one that happened that I don't think people really noticed. You can see it's really in the dark, and we can't quite make out who this is, but I am getting Kofi Kingston vibes. And if you think of the history of New Day and Usos and Kofi and Usos, it would make sense. We know Kofi was on the show tonight, of course. So that looks like Jey. Of course, you can sort of see the yeet on the shirts, and I think that's Kofi. So that was one that I think might have slipped past a few people. There was others that we saw happening, right? Obviously, Seth was high profile. He was approached by Sammy and by Solo, but he also made his feelings very clear. We saw Bron Breakker being approached by Jimmy. That was very clear. But there were a few approaches that were happening in the background, this being one of them, and we'll have a look at another one later in this video. So we don't know if that's going to lead anywhere. I don't think it will, right? I don't think it will. People want to know who's it going to be, who's it going to be. If they are going to drop in a couple of family members we don't know, then they could get Hikuleo and Lance Anoa'i, because both of those are connected to this story through family, but I don't think it's going to be them. Hikuleo is tall, like 6'8". He is a monster. He would be visually very impressive to put into this, but the last report I saw on him was that he's going to NXT, so I'm not expecting him. Lance Anoa'i has signed with WWE. He is part of that Anoa'i family, but I think he's injured at the moment, and I expect him to go through NXT first, just like Solo did. Solo went through NXT first. I think they'll do the same with Lance. Some people wondering if they'll get Zilla. I don't think they'll get Zilla. There's no word that Zilla has signed. I honestly think they're going to look to drop in Randy, Kevin, Cody, someone like that. Few people wondering if it might be The Rock. I'm not sure it'll be The Rock. I don't think it'll be The Rock, just because The Rock would need to, like, you know, get the warm-ups, the reps in, and he's been promoting a film. I don't think The Rock can just walk into Survivor Series and have a match at his age. You know, he's going to need to set a ring up and, you know, do like some warm-ups. And I just don't know that he's had time to do that. We know that he was doing that in preparation for WrestleMania. I don't think he's had a chance to do that in preparation for Survivor Series. So I'm not expecting The Rock. He could come out after the match, but I'm not expecting him to compete. I think I'd be looking at Randy, Kevin, or Cody and Kevin, something along those lines. So yeah, caught me off guard. That, I would say, is our top story. Of course, there's another top story, and that is the Wyatts, right? Should we have a look at this? We've just had a message from Karrion, so that's going to be interesting. So I'm still confused by this. So this was the image from yesterday. So TJF 1983, thank you. But we also had some footage shown by Joe Gacy. This is the same forest the same image that Nikki tweeted out, but this was footage, and we were like in a vehicle. The speed that the camera was moving, it was like we were in a car. So I was expecting a video package or some sort of vignette that's really focused on where the Miz was, what this was about. We didn't get any of that. I mean, I thought what the Miz said made sense. He came out and said that he got let go because he apologized. He told them that he had changed, and so they believed him and they let him go, right? And he was trying to stress this to Karrion and Final Testament, like, I'm walking away, you should walk away as well. Obviously, they drag him to the ring, and it's a trap. It's all a trap. And so the lights go out just as they're about to attack the Miz, who the Wyatt Sicks believe has repented. And obviously he hadn't. He nails Rowan with a chair. Turns out to be a big trap, and the Wyatt family are laid out. We'll have a look at some images. Xavier posted this. I don't know if it's the real Xavier. I don't know what all this is here, right? But either way, knock knock. Who's there? Cargo. Cargo who? No. Algo. Cargo. Vroom. What? Algo who? Cargo. Vroom. So many people tagged me in this. It's one of the worst jokes I've ever heard. It's awful. It's so awful. It's actually funny at how awful it is. Algo who? Cargo vroom. No wonder his face looks like that. If that's the kind of torture that The Miz has been put through, then no wonder he repented. So, Thomas, thank you. Right, Brady said, Tom Colligue said on Friday's episode that Alexa will return as herself, which is exactly what her 2022 character was. But the important thing is return as. So she'll return as herself, but she then may change and like transition into another character. So there we go. That's the latest thing that is doing the rounds in regards to Alexa. So Brady, thank you. Karrion going off on The Miz. This was the moment The Miz was trying to say, no, you don't understand. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than you. Like, we need to walk away. It was really good. I thought Karrion killed this segment. I thought Miz was excellent here. I think Miz has been excellent actually since he got brought into this Wyatt Sicks story. Seeing him acting fearful has really elevated them and really helped like the Wyatt Sicks aura. It's a little bit of a shame that it was all a lie and he wasn't actually fearful because he just walloped them with a chair. It was all a trap. Bit of a shame, but he's done great work. Fireflies were out, of course. That's always great to see. Blood coming down the face. This must have been a botch. Must have been an accident. Like blood coming down the side of the face of the Miz during this segment. Lights would go out. Wyatts would arrive. They would get laid out. And people now speculating that we might be building towards like Survivor Series War Games. I don't think it would be in a cage. I think they only tend to do like a men's and a women's. Bloodline will be at War Games. We saw a load of women close the show this week. I think there's a good chance that'll be in War Games. This might be a bit more normal, traditional, just kind of a big street fight or something maybe. Or maybe a traditional Survivor Series match. But, yeah, they absolutely laid them out. There's a bit of criticism. People saying we never get to see the Wyatts. And then when we do, they get beaten up, which I do understand. But I do also think that, you know, if you want it to be really satisfying for them to get a win over Final Testament, then they do have to go through some hardship. So I sort of see both sides. I understand we don't see them often. When we do, they get beaten up is not a great visual. It's not great optics, but in order for it to really satisfy when they beat the Final Testament, they do need to go through these kinds of moments. But we heard from Karrion literally 7 minutes ago, Larry. Thank you. Am I supposed to be scared? Ha ha ha. take your hocus pocus and blow it out your ass. Here's Karrion, have a good night. So, Karrion on social media after SmackDown came to an end. It's not even SmackDown, it's Raw. I don't know, I've saved it as SmackDown in this folder as well. In my mind, it's Friday for some reason. Right, here we go. Shrek is at Raw. Got tagged in this loads. So, Fightful. There we go. Outside the building, there was Shrek. Yeah, this was kind of fun. This moment at the start of the show, right? This is where they were coming down the stairs, right? And there's this bit here where Carlito has got his arm on Raquel's shoulder. Look. That was right at the start of the show. So, really good. Announcement made, of course, Gunther and Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship confirmed official for Survivor Series. That was originally going to be CM Punk going for the title. So, I don't know if he's going to miss the show or if we're going to have to find another place to kind of fit him in, but not the match I was expecting. She's back. Kenny, for your thoughts, said all is right in the world. Dakota Kai returned on this week's Raw, competed in a match as well. She's been out for 3 months, so lots of excitement that she is back. This was interesting. This moment that Gunther told Ludwig to stop talking, right? And Ludwig kind of pulled away and he was like, no. He actually stood up, rebelled against Gunther's wishes. He was like, I want to tell him exactly what I think about him. And he talking about Damian Priest, of course. So we are teasing lots of dissension. We're teasing dissension in the Street Profits, dissension in A-Town Down Under, dissension in DIY, dissension in the New Day, dissension between Ludwig and Gunther. I mean, there's dissension and issues everywhere when it comes to WWE right now. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting. Another week of slight issues between Gunther and Ludwig as Gunther stops Kaiser from talking trash about Damian Priest. Right, this was interesting. With Raw being in Michigan, I felt like Damian's promo was just listing everything that Gunther was going to say about him so that Gunther would be left speechless. It's a bit of a callback to the movie 8 Mile when the rap battle goes on at the end. So that from SFG. So we know that Damian came in really hot, kind of like getting everything out the way. Right, about all the put downs that Gunther has thrown at him in the past. And I just love that theory that we did that because we were in Michigan and it's a little callback to the film 8 Mile. Kelsey said, I love Xavier showing Baron Corbin support. Look at this, burn the ships. So loyal to those, loyal to me. Now, he changed this shirt later in the show. He only wore this backstage. So, yeah, interesting. Loyal to those, loyal to me, says Xavier. And burn the ships, a tribute to Baron Corbin. We heard from Stephanie. So, Stephanie said, thank you and your families for your sacrifice. Freedom isn't free. Here's to the tough ones, to the brave ones, to the ones who sacrifice, to the freedom fought and paid for by the ones who never thought twice. So with all I have, I take off my hat and I hold my drink up high to the heroes on the front lines tonight. That's Tyler Kinch, a quote that has been retweeted or sent out by Stephanie. Again, look, arguing, obviously, after Kofi fell short against Pete Dunne on the show. This is really continuing to break down. I think a lot of people thinking this is going to come to a head when we actually get that segment, that New Day anniversary episode. And you can see there, look, Xavier had changed his shirt from earlier. Tension here. I forgot to mention this tension. Blooming hell. Our Judgment Day about to lose the tag titles. It feels like Finn might leave them soon. So he was getting in the face of Dom. Dom was standing up to Finn, actually. Dom showing, like, you know, he's got some balls here. Standing up to Finn, and it was really interesting, this. Really interesting. So, yeah, a bit of dissension there as well. This was what I was talking about earlier. Just in the background, there's Jey talking with Rey Mysterio. So, Jey going around approaching people. Sammy going around approaching people. Jimmy going around approaching people. Solo going around approaching people. So I'm not a fan of the 5-on-5. I would much rather leave it 4-on-4. I think this is OG Bloodline versus new Bloodline, and just bringing in some other boomers is kind of diluting that a little bit, right? It's not a big problem. I just wouldn't do it. But it is kind of fun seeing them going around approaching different people and different people turning them down, understandably. So right, friendship goals, right? That's what WWE said, as we've got Damage Control reunited. Of course, that wasn't always Damage Control. There was another member that used to be with them, and there she is. Lol. Maybe not quite friendship goals, considering how they treated Bayley. It's Bryn again. Shout out to you, Slam X. Shout out to you, Judgment Day didn't buy the DLC, so they can't use Carlito in 2K24. So there they are, I think, trying to get Carlito in the match against the War Raiders, but because they didn't get the DLC, they can't do it. So apparently that was going on in the background whilst Finn and Dominik were coming to blows. Here as well, this was announced that Dwayne is the cover star of GQ, and he is Entertainer of the Year. Dwayne Johnson winning Entertainer of the Year. And of course, he's out and about promoting his new film, Red One, which I've heard is awful. There, look, Dirty Dom is dumber than a 5th grader. That's a good sign. So good that WWE have retweeted it, put it out, and tagged Dominik and Liv in it as well. Right, there was Seth. That was a great line. I will never join forces with a wannabe Roman Reigns. What a great line. Next week, we've got Intercontinental Championship match. Of course, this is going to get spoiled. I'm sorry, right? But yeah, that is next week. So try and avoid spoilers. And then, of course, we had this as well. This is how the show ended. And of course, it's very much building towards War Games. It feels like it's building towards Survivor Series. Feels like we've got Nia and Tiffany and Liv and Raquel on one side. We've got Bianca, Naomi, Io, who came down on her own. No Kyrie or Dakota. And Jade on the other side. Whether they'll go and get 5th members, I'm sure they will. But this very much feels like where we're going for the Women's Survivor Series teams. So that was SmackDown. Let's go to WWE, shall we? It's Bryn again. Thank you. Dr. Chris Featherstone said, major updates. Current plans are for Blair Davenport to receive a push upon SmackDown going 3 hours starting in 2025. She has not been utilized on the current SmackDown programming due to timing. So looks like a push is coming for Blair Davenport. We got an updated poster. So Tribal Warrior, thank you. So Roman Reigns and Logan Paul have been taken off. Solo and Jade have took their place. That has fueled speculation that Roman and Logan could be going to Raw as part of this Netflix move in January. And this is really interesting. So I don't know. People have asked me, is this true? I don't know, right? But Jonathan Coachman, Coach, has claimed that Bianca is frustrated because she feels like she has to carry Jade during their tag team title run, right? Coachman said that he'd heard that Jade and Bianca do not get along, and it's from reliable sources. They don't get along. Now you've got 2 spectacular looking women in Bianca and Jade. You can't look any better than they do, but Bianca's already been in the main event. So you're asking her to give someone the rub. Of course, she's going to be peeved. She makes her own gear and Jade doesn't. Do you see how that could lead to something? I'm interested in, could this maybe be fake news that has been planted? Because I think they're building towards a split anyway. So why not say to Coach, listen, we've got a story for you. Bianca and Jade really don't like each other. Do you want to report that? Right? Might not be true, but it could just be a little seed that gets planted, and then when the split comes, and I don't think the split's that far away actually, because I think they will feud and have a match at WrestleMania, then we've got this story that's out there now. This is kind of another little tease, isn't it, that the split is coming? So this could be true, this might not be true, but it could just be part of the story that we're using to build towards that split, right? So that's we did everything in there, didn't we? Yes. WWE folder. Lovely. Community. I think there's just, yes, here. Billy said, the GOAT has returned. Days, please put this in unseen if you want to. Billy asks me all the time to put this in unseen, right? And I'm certainly not going to be putting it in all the time. But this is like a movement that is still going very, very strong. And I said to Billy, like, I'll put it in once she comes back. I'm a man of my words. So, Billy, there you go. Hashtag push King Kota. Hashtag King Kota movement. Hashtag DK Army. Billy wanting to see Dakota get better utilized now that she's back. So, more than happy to include that. Right, I think we just got other. So, yeah, great news. Look, Dirty Dutch. Over 100,000 has been raised. 2,000 people have donated, which is excellent news. So, Trenton, thank you. James, shout out to you. CM Punk is going to join the annual live holiday tour, right? That's on December 26th. You would think they would give them that off. I thought wrestlers got the month before and after holidays off, like what we're doing with Thanksgiving. But they're actually making them work on the 26th. Oh my God, unbelievable. So anyway, CM Punk is going to be there. Kojiko, shout out to you. Yeah, thank you. So we spoke about this yesterday and I was confused. Why is it there? And I genuinely didn't know, but people have been in touch. Kojiko said the giant billboard in Times Square is to promote the new West Side Gun album. So there we go. This is the image being used for the new West Side Gun album, and that is what it's there to promote, which is really, really cool. So we got an answer to that. So Jazza, appreciate it, my friends. Let's just go notifications, because as we're recording this, we do have Raw Talk. So we can just have a look and see. Here we go. They've used Gunther's IC title render instead of his world title for Survivor Series. Huh? So they've posted a botch, have they? So Survivor Series, and he's got the Intercontinental belt rather than the world title. No. WWE botch on a graphic. No, wrong belt. Wrong belt. Oh my God. Amazing. Yeah, people having a lot of fun with how moody Raquel looked in the graphic for this week's Raw. So, look at this. Live for Rock said, look, this is me at the start of the day. This is me at the end. I can't believe that botch as well, man. That's unbelievable. Let's have a look and see what's being said. Oh, hello. I always like to have a look right now because, oh, is this a bit of, this is a vibe. Let's have a little look, shall we? There they are at the end of the show, dancing away. All the women in the entrance. Looks like they're about to do river dance. Is that a sign that Becky Lynch is going to be the 5th member? Look at them all river dancing in the entranceway. Yeah, look at that, having a great time. So, women's War Games match is going to cook. It doesn't look like there's any chatter about Raw Talk, to be honest. So, yeah, looks like we're pretty much, as of right now, up to speed with everything. So there we go. That was today's Unseen. Appreciate the support as always. Let me know down in the comments below, who would your 5th members be for Team Roman and Team Solo? OG Bloodline, Temu Bloodline. Who would your 5th members be? Thanks for watching. Bye for now.